Good morning, friends. Happy Easter. Peace be with you. This morning, as we celebrate Easter, we will hear the last part of our Faces of Easter story. Before we begin, let's prepare our hearts and our bodies for today's story. That might mean sitting crisscross applesauce. That might mean taking a few deep breaths. Take a minute and let's prepare to hear today's story. On the first Sunday of Lent, we remembered the story of when Jesus was born. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. And when baby Jesus looked up at his mother Mary, he already saw the cross. When he looked at his father Joseph, he saw the cross there too. On the second Sunday of Lent, we remember Jesus as a boy. He and his mother Mary and father Joseph traveled to Jerusalem to keep one of the high holy days. When the celebration was over, Mary and Joseph and the other people from their village began to travel home, and they realized Jesus was not there with them. So for 3 days and 3 nights, they searched for Jesus, and they found him in the temple. And when they came to him, they said, "Why did you do this?" And Jesus replied, "Didn't you know I would be in my Father's house?" They didn't understand, but they did not forget. On the third Sunday of Lent, we heard the story of Jesus being baptized by his cousin John. Jesus was about 30 years old. He traveled and went to the river Jordan where his cousin John was baptizing people. Jesus asked John to baptize him. John said, "No, you are the Messiah. You must baptize me." But Jesus replied, "John, you are the one to come before me and to prepare a way." So John baptized Jesus and took him into the dark chaos of the waters. And when he came out of the water, the people saw a great light, and they saw a dove that came close. They also heard the voice that said, "This is my son, my beloved son, with whom I am well pleased." On the fourth Sunday of Lent, we heard the story of Jesus in the wilderness, in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. A voice tested Jesus. But every time the voice tested Jesus, he said no. Jesus was in the wilderness to learn more about who he was and the work that he would be doing. After the 40 days was over, Jesus left the wilderness, went back through the river Jordan, and began to do his work. On the fifth Sunday of Lent, we learn more about what the work was that Jesus was doing. Jesus came close to people, especially those people that no one else wanted to come close to. We see here that Jesus came so close to a blind man that he was healed. When Jesus came close to people, they were changed. They could see things they couldn't see before. They could do things they hadn't done before. Jesus also taught parables. And he realized that it was time for him to become a parable. So he turned toward Jerusalem one last time. Last Sunday, Palm Sunday, we remembered that Jesus came into Jerusalem. He came in on a donkey, and the people waved palm branches as a sign of celebration that there was a king coming. On that Thursday, Jesus and his 12 disciples went into a house up the stairs to the upper room and shared one last supper together. After they had eaten everything they wanted to eat, Jesus shared the bread and the cup with them. They didn't understand what he meant when he said, "Every time you break this bread, every time you share this cup, I will be there." And they didn't understand, but soon they would. Judas left. Not long after, Jesus and the disciples went to the Garden of Gethsemane because Jesus wanted to pray. When he came back and joined the disciples, Judas came out of the dark and greeted Jesus with a kiss. And that kiss on the cheek was that reminder, that symbol to the temple guards that it was Jesus. And the guards took Jesus into the dark, and the disciples left in the darkness of the night. The night was long and confusing. The next day, Jesus was taken out of the walls of the city and was crucified. That afternoon, Jesus died. The sky grew dark. Jesus was taken off the cross and was taken to a cave. A large stone was rolled in front, like you would close a door. On Saturday, the earth was so quiet, it was as if you could hear the earth breathing. On Sunday, it was the women who wanted to go to the tomb to be near Jesus. Even if it was sad, they wanted to remember everything. But when they got there, the great stone had been rolled away, and when they looked inside, the tomb was empty. Jesus was with them as he is with us, in the bread and the cup. When we see this side, we remember this side too. But when we see this side, we can also know there is this side too. And they can't be torn apart. That's the great mystery of Easter, and it makes all the difference. That's why we change from purple to white, a sign of pure celebration. But wait, something is wrong. There's the beginning, and the middle, and the end. If we see this side, the story has an end. But if we see this side, the ending is also a beginning. So we can't keep it in a line. Let's see what we can do. Now the story can go on forever. I wonder what part of the story you like best. I wonder what part you think is most important. I wonder where you are in the story. I wonder if there's part of the story that you can take out and still have all you need. As we close today, let's sing our goodbye song together. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. See you next time, friends.